up like 3K or something stupid like that.
Holy
Two and a
shit.
half now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Is it on what? In Bitcoin or altcoins?
Solana. Solana all day. Solana's the easy play today, baby.
Nice, nice. So let's get it started, shall we? Let's get it. All right, so let me get this going really quickly. There we go. I don't know why this is acting up. Oh, it's not. It's not. It's all right. All right, so hey, welcome everyone. So let's get started with Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin really quickly, guys. Just so you guys remember, if we talked about the oscillator, we were talking about the NVP oscillator on the monthly Bitcoin. In this case, in Coinbase, right? It doesn't always work on every broker, and that's because of the historical setup that we have in here. Okay. Something important is that we were looking for the very next candle at the bottom to be at the bottom range, all right? At the bottom range. That doesn't mean that the Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin cannot go below the starting point. Again, let me repeat that. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot go lower, all right? So, but that's where we start looking for reentries, not only reentries, but also if we go over here, we'll take a look at, and let me just zoom out that on just as an example, I just have Solana here as example. This is the same bottom range, all right? If you guys remember, this is the Solana chart, all right? And it's matching with this line. So this point right here, this line right here matches exactly with this line right there. As you can see, after we have a negative candle or an empty candle, empty bar at the bottom, all right, on Bitcoin, that's when I start looking at Solana. That doesn't mean that Solana is just going to blow. In fact, Solana stayed dormant for somewhere around, let me measure that, stay dormant or stay within the range. Come on, let me draw. There it is. For around 31 bars, all right? So 31 weeks. It's still a long time. But still, as an overall rule of thumb, that's when I start looking at altcoins. Right when we have a empty bar right here on our oscillator, right down here. Okay. So what happened right now? Well, we have our first bar this last month. All right. That means that I'm also looking at altcoins and what's going on Solana. It's also ranging. Can we still maybe wait another, I don't know, 31 bars? Yes, absolutely. We could be doing so, something like that. All right. But still, I believe it is worth to be taking a look at altcoins somewhere around here. Very important. That doesn't mean that you're just buying. All right. Um, you need to be responsible with your buy-ups. All right. Having said that, I see we have no oh, thank you. All right, my bad. How would that happen? Viking, thank you. All right, you know what it is. What's up, bro? Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so am I sharing now? Yes. All right. Hello, brother. Welcome. All right. So very quickly, this is a Bitcoin chart. Let me just repeat really quickly. All right. On the Bitcoin chart, we were looking for after the bear market. All right. After the bear market, we're looking for the area where our first empty bar right down there appears. All right. That had happened right here on the bear market. Our first empty bar. All right. Having said that, let's go over here and let's mark the vertical line. So this vertical line is right on that candle or in that bar right here. Let's bring up Solana, just an example, because that's the one I used back in the day. All right. Let me zoom out and you'll see another big green arrow. All right. Just so you know, those two big green arrows are basically pointing at the same candle. One more candle to my right, and that's it. There it is. All right. So what happens after Bitcoin had its first empty bar right down here on the MVP oscillator, right here? Well, then it went sideways for a little bit, retraced it a little bit, and then blew up. All right. Same thing happened with Solana, but Solana went dormant for somewhere around, where is it, 31 bars, right? So there is 31 bars. It went dormant still, 31 bars, 31 weeks. That's a long time. Although that is where I would have, or we would have but for look at that, if we look back in time, right, to then catch the very nice pump. So the same thing is happening right now. Let's go take a look at that at the very end. Right now, Solana is ranging. All right. You might be seeing this huge candle, but we are ranging. Can we still hold or be ranging for another 31 bars? Yes, absolutely. But this is where I start looking at icons. That doesn't mean buying everything I can with all of the money I have. No. That means just being responsible, looking for opportunities to re-enter, and then start accumulating little by little on Solana. I have Solana, HBAR, Near. Right now I have gonna be scooping on some Ondo, Hype, a couple of those. And you don't think that's way too much, right? I'm just being cautious. I'm just scooping just a little bit at the time. So let's just drop this up, and let me pass it over to you first, Alex, after this little introduction. And I have, as you guys can see, a lot of altcoins to go over. So how was your day, my friend? How was Solana?
Oh man, Solana's my bitch, man. Yeah, bro. I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't struggle. I lost. I was down $1,100 yesterday. I was down. I was down almost $3,000 at one point yesterday, and I battled back. Going over here, taking a look at Soy Boy Lana. I mean, I've been scalping all morning, so it's been little base hits here and there, just whooping ass. Really, I took a long in here, took a short in here, took another short in here, took a long up here. It's been all over the place, but key levels of support and resistance, like, I don't know. Support and resistance is basic as ever, bro. But like honestly, with Solana, if you know how to trade it, it's a money printer. Very simple. I mean, you can put your own. You can use. I guarantee you, if I use predictive ranges, some of these levels will probably fall into key levels of support and resistance as well, depending on the time frame that I'm on. But you can see, like, this thing is just constantly respecting those key levels over and over again, and really, it's been a very choppy market, right? So whenever we look at a choppy market, we need to identify the range and identify the hot dog zone, guys. That's the key. Okay, so how do you identify a hot dog zone? Well, you got to understand, where is price mostly trading. When we look at this, we can understand that price is mostly trading in here. Okay, so that means that we want to take trades in here. Okay, very simply, I could put the hot dog on because it makes OC laugh every time. Okay, you don't want to get the noodle in the face, guys. Okay. Okay, you don't want to get noodle slap. You want to trade the nice juicy buns, right? So anytime we have deviated above, especially above, we want to be shorting. Why especially above? Because our trend is down, guys. Okay, our trend is down. So whenever we retest into key areas of resistance, we are looking to short. Okay, and you can see with all of these, pretty obvious. Exhaustion, down we go. This morning was no different, right? This morning we had 3 drives up at the highs and breakdown. Okay, now guess what we're doing? We're coming back into our hot dog zone, right? So guess what? The long was the play down here, right? Looking to reclaim and push. Can we do that? My issue right now with Solana is the liquidity is down here, and it hasn't been taken. So watching that low here, we could just make a breakdown, retest, continuation down here. Very possible. We do have like this channel right now. So in order for me to flip bullish, I would like to see some strength here. Okay, if no strength, no trade. The big warning sign, in my opinion, is the S&P 500. Okay, look at this morning, right? So we gapped down, we retested, and we rotated down. This is weak. This is trillions of dollars. Okay, from here to here. Okay, that is almost 1%. You know how much trillions of dollars that is? It's like the crypto market cap died today. Okay, but looking for SPY to hold here. We'll see. Potentially push back up. So watching that, of course, cautiously as well. Looking at Bitcoin here, right? Right now, the expectational order flow is down. However, we're trying to reclaim the range, right? So cautious here. Can we bounce? We never took the low. Looking to rotate up into VWAP. VWAP's been very choppy right now, so be aware of that. One trade that I am looking at, look, altcoin trade, guys. Okay, share it with you guys. I don't normally share it with you guys, but we've been holding this entry right now for potential longs. Look at that. Merry Christmas, Chart Prime gang. All right. Looking for this to push up here. Okay. Can we get going? Good question, right? So Bitcoin here trying to hold, trying to push. Aerodrome trying to hold, trying to push. A lot of, hype is doing all right, right? XRP looking like shite. In a range. We look at anything. Near had a pump yesterday. Near's looking okay. Inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, a little bit. Trying to go, right? So altcoins not looking the greatest, but the thing with Bitcoin dominance here, and what you can see is that we have finally broken this uptrend, right? So there is a potential on Bitcoin dominance for this to roll over, right? We've lost momentum here. So for me, can we get going? Big question. I'd rather long altcoins when we lose the lows here. Okay. So watching the altcoins here, watching dominance. Okay. Watching dominance, very important. So what's the plan today? Well, the plan is I'm done. That's my plan. I've secured the bag today, right? The key to a longevity and long-term of trading is to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? You got to know when you've taken a bunch of good trades. Here's my Solana chart for my support and resistance if you want it. But you got to know when to take the money and run. It's very choppy today. I am looking for a pushback, but cautious right now. Orb trying to hold here on Bitcoin. Yeah. We got bull divs in here. Strength, higher term time frames, OC. What do you think? Solana's in a critical support level. So if we're going to go up and start pushing, I think this would be it. We can see that we have, 3 drives in here trying to hold. So I would have preferred an SFP today. Same on Bitcoin. I would have preferred an SFP. We didn't get the SFP this morning. If we had swept, then I would be more inclined to be giga long right now. We are simply just breaking down. Let's see the trend line here. Yeah, still breaking down. Even if we go regression trend here. Yeah. Trying to hold. So for now, right? Down. For now, down. Looking to come here. If we start breaking highs here and breaking out of this momentum, then we can look for bottoming structure. If we take the low and bounce, then we look for bottoming structure. It needs to take liquidity. The issue is that from low to high, we are in no man's land. You go low to high, because that would be your 4-hour low. Okay. We're in Platinum Pocket 786. Only Piper likes this, okay? He's the only one I know who likes it. And he does well, but fuck the Platinum Pocket. You should be bouncing either Golden Pocket or 786, this area. If you go down to here, you might as well look for the liquidity sweep of the low. OC knows. OC's like, fuck the Platinum Pocket too. Right? Have you ever made money off a Platinum Pocket? I haven't, bro.
I have. I actually added up because I was very skeptical of the Platinum Pocket, but let me give you
You've
kind
been
of
hanging out with
maybe a
Piper
little
too
bit
long,
of
bro.
an insight. It's when you
Way too
use a
long.
previous range and not when you use a previous pivot.
Okay. You know what's the hardest thing about trading a Platinum Pocket?
You know this is being recorded, right?
Oh man.
Right, you see? I know you,
Yeah.
but you went from a pivot. Yeah, you went from a pivot, right? Yeah, you went from a
Yes.
pivot. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that Platinum Pocket. I'd rather use predictive ranges. See, predictive range has done a great job here, right? It's holding the yellow here. So
Touché.
yellow's doing good here. So if we hold the yellow, and look, there's no Platinum Pocket level here. You see, even predictive ranges knows you don't make money off the Platinum Pocket. It knows you're coming for the low, right? That's your next level. So level to level, if we hold here, we go back to blue, the median, right?
Great.
If we go back to blue, that means we've mitigated the highs. That means we might retest the highs and go. Be aware, this is breaking down, changing character, right? That means that this is corrective. ABC. Does that mean that we can't get C down here, right? And go? No. Does that also mean that C can be way down here and we could S swing down and break down? Absolutely. And go? Yes. Does that mean that this can be the start of a downtrend and we could do this? Absolutely too. Okay. Don't be confused. Like OC said, if this then that, we will take these trades based on what we can see. But we can see is what? We all agree we're in a bear market, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Everybody agrees. So how long do we accumulate, right? If this is our bear market, right? We got some time, like OC was just pointing out at the beginning of the stream, right? So is there still another capitulation event? Right? Possibly. Even if this isn't, as detrimental as it looks, right? For me right now, whenever I see this, I understand that we are in a downtrend. That's non-negotiable, right? So we're looking, if price action's fractals, right? We're looking for this. Do we have anything like this right now? Does this look like a bottom to you guys? I would say no. Right? This looks like a bottom. This looks like a bottom. Right? If anything, this looks very similar to this, except we're in a bear market. I would say it looks more similar to this, that we have dropped down, right? If we expand that out, we have dropped down, we're doing this. Could we do this? That would be the flat, what is that called? The flat bottom theory. Have you ever heard of that, OC?
A little bit.
Trading pattern, flat bottom.
But that's a white
Flat bottom
range,
pattern?
isn't it?
What
Like,
is it
I mean,
called?
very similar to it.
So this move down here is not considered a low. This is a fake out. That's what this is considered. Right? So this would be your fake out, and then you would have this thing just continue to the high. And this would just be a fake out here. Can't remember what it's called. flat. I will find it and I will report back. You use the altcoins and I will find it. But that would tell me that this is fake. I have it saved somewhere in my pattern book. I'll find it. But this is a fake out, and that means we just go up from here. Retest, continuation up, right? Retest, and up we go. But we're prepared for every scenario. Is what I'm trying to say, right? That's the key. Is that we're prepared. Prepared trader is a profitable trader. So
Oh,
if this, then that. And we don't have to catch the whole move. We just want to participate in the move, right?
for sure. And just about that you mentioned that, right? That we have a lot of scenarios and we need to prepare for that. I think that's what I was about to say in other words, but I think you simplified way, way better. And that is because I want to show Solana because Garrett asked, but I also want to get started with Bitcoin. Guys, please remember what was a drawing that Alex was making on Bitcoin, all right? Please hold that on your head while I find my Bitcoin chart, right, which should be right here. And there it is. This is it. I know it's a little bit messy, all right, but let's find another one. There it is. Let's even find a cleaner one. And I think this is going to be it. Yes, this is it. This is what I showed you yesterday, all right? Remember, expecting every or knowing what to do in every scenario. This is I think this is the same trend line that Alex was drawing, all right? We ain't got so far the trend line breakout. For that, I believe, right? And I think right now it's a little bit outdated. So I would do something like this. I believe that we're going to range past the trend line, so breakout and the retest because we did not went up all the way. That's what I'm expecting, not going up all the way to the dynamic reactor, all right? So and again, guys, remember, there's just itty bitty, itty tiny variance. Because at the end of it all, remember what Alex mentioned ABC, corrective, but also pump, right? I mean, bounce back down. Where was his platinum pocket? Mine, it's right here. And this is not the platinum pocket, just so you know. Well, my bad. I think I just insulted you. Where was his golden pocket? Because he did not have a platinum pocket. He had a golden pocket and a predictive range, right? So where was his predictive range? Right down here, right? Right down here, somewhere around here. And guess what I got in there, right? Let me just remove that circle. I am looking for that same area, very close, almost exactly the same area for the price action to bounce. Just the immediate price action and the right after price action, it's the one slightly changing. All right. Oh, there it
Expanded
is.
flat. That's what it's called.
Oh, all right. I
So it's
see.
Elliott wave. It's an irregular, right?
I
It's a 3-3-3-5 wave structure.
I know it by another name. Something that has nothing to do with what you mentioned, but I think it's just because of translation. That might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a breakdown of it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then
Nice. Which is
because it
a
does make sense,
failure.
you do get it is
Yeah.
the failure of taking the low, right?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
copy image. Right? This is it drawn out on like an Elliott wave theory perspective. It's perfect. I mean, it's perfect for what we have, right?
It is. It would have
I'm
been just a
just
little bit
saying,
lower. Yeah,
right?
for sure. So, guys, just long story short, just not to bank too much onto Bitcoin, all right? So, what I'm expecting right now is a little bit of a range, sweep of the lows, right? And then a fake out to the dynamic reactor, and then a big down. So, basically, creating that. I know it as the fail of the fifth wave, but the translation is slightly bit different. I think it's just a translation thing, but yeah. And you know what? I don't really like that much of Elliott waves. For me, it's kind of like a I don't know. I would say this. I could say the same of Wyckoff. I just think it's a preference thing. But for me, it's just overcomplicated stuff. But it got some pretty solid points, guys. Just so you guys know. All right, counting waves is the easiest way to look for a big reversal on trend. All right, so let's go back to Solana. All right, Solana, what am I expecting? I'm expecting a little bit more of the same. This is where we left at. Do you guys remember when Alex was mentioning, hey, we're going to go most likely up in a scalp, right? And what happened? We broke the triangle. We hit almost right there. Look at that, man. Almost hit my target, all right? The one that I was looking at. Of course, we hit, let me just delete that one. We hit Alex target, of course, and then it went back down, created a lower low, created a lower high. My short, right? My risky short. That's when I created this trend line right here. Okay. And then we went downwards. I held it through here, then tried to long it at the bottom. We did a great job longing it to almost a trend line. Look at that, the same area of the line was. And then for some reason, I did not add to my short. I'm still holding that 25% short. It's not much, but I'm about to close it. Not quite there yet, all right? When I draw this trend line, let me just clear this up so we are not looking at a lot of drawings that are not valid because they already played out. All right, let me just clear this up. And I should be doing the same thing you do, like cleaning from the right. All right, so there we go. We had this trend line, which looked pretty solid at the time, right? But now, with new data, I can draw this other trend line. And I already had it, right? I just move it out of the way so we can follow along the process. I just locked it, just so you guys know, all right? And then also I'm going to be adjusting this other trend line. But as you can see, if I do make just a little bit of an adjustment, it's almost the same. So I'm just going to leave this new trend line as is, all right? I know it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So I think it's going to happen a little bit more of the same for Bitcoin or with Bitcoin, right? Which is a vanilla breakout. But in this case, I do believe that we're going to go hit somewhere close to the dynamic reactor and then coming back down. And that is because we could be looking for a fake out with a inverted head and shoulders, something like that. All right. I've seen that a lot of in Solana. Let me show you a couple of examples. We fake out with a inverted head and shoulders, and then we go down, right? We fake out with a inverted head and shoulders, and we go down. Well, this was a double bottom. We fake out, where is it? There we go. With a, in this case, it did play out. With the inverted head and shoulders, well, this one, it did play out. But I do see that playing out fairly often in Solana. So I'm going to trust my gut, all right? And I'm going to be aiming, and already I'm into a long position. If you are looking for a long position, you can still do it. Nonetheless, look at the direction that I'm aiming after that little range, all right? To the downside. I think we're going to have a further continuation downwards. In this case, I was looking for a better position, but guess what? We also have this big trend line right here, right? And if I, depending on how I draw this trend line, let's make it fit for the next one. Like if I skip couple of candles in here, candle wicks, and I try to grab as much as I can, look at that, it pairs almost exactly. So there's a little bit of a buffering going on in there. I like it better like this because it's grabbing these 2 wicks right here, right? Barely shaving this one off, right? So that means that we could have that itty bitty tiny scalp. If you're looking for something, I would rather go for a range downwards continuation. All right, so breakout and the retest, since the retest did not happen immediately and we did not break any big supports, the retest is going to be on the trend line or very close to it. All right, so let's bring up the rest of my indicators to see how that theory is going. Just so you know, guys, this long position, it's half of an entry. It's pretty small. All right, and leverage, and I'm controlling, of course, that leverage. That's what I wanted to say. So let's bring up the rest of my indicators and see what's up, because we do have a, if I'm not mistaken, a loud order block. Let's just wait for it to load. Let's wait for a second. And there is, well, it's not loud anymore. It's a high order block and it's almost 50-50. These usually, they take each onto another one. So basically they disappear. They eat each other, right? So because there's almost exactly the same volume bearish that is bullish. So despite we could be ranging, that is what usually this does. We range inside that big thick area, right? Well, then it ends up disappearing. Therefore, the big support it's gone. Where is the next big support? Well, on the discount zone next to the delta area on the liquidity bar. The next one will be all the way down here. All right. So as you can see, aiming somewhere around here, that's where my target is at. So I do expect some ranging. If I can get it, I'm going to be executing this long and then the short. So I'm looking for a better positioning on the short and risking just a little bit more on that long. Why am I risking on that long? Look at the direction on our oscillator. Despite the money flow is losing flow, right? It's having outflow. I still think that we can have some like degen rally to the dynamic reactor. But we'll see. Remember, this is the 4 hour. This is a trade for the week. Although I believe we should have our eyes open. If this does anything like it has done before, it's going to start moving somewhere around 8 p.m. MST. All right. So just keep your eyes open throughout night. And if I have to, I will absolutely do a break of structure short to, oh, not there, to my target. All right. So that's just to show what I'm looking at on 4 hours Solana for gear. So that's what I got. Alex, do you have anything else? Are you looking at any specific coins?
Right now, I am looking for potentially a couple of things showing some strengths right now. Potentially Ondo. Let me see here. I mean, we already took it for 73%. Let me.
Let me. I do have
trade.
a on the thing. I'm gonna snip it. I want to see yours, and I'll show you mine.
Bro, I got long here. 26 cents.
What a stud. Look at that, bro. You're in such a chat.
We got a beautiful balloon donkey here, guys. So, lower. Yeah. Trying to hold here. Retest your previous lows. Trying to hold here. Looking for something like this. On Ondo. Back up to the highs. If Ondo can hold, let's see. Looking at that, that's kind of how I would set it up. Looking at that, I was also looking at, what was it, virtual? I mean, I took virtual already for 44%. Does it render? No, render's not there yet. Which one was it? Caspa? No, Caspa hit my target. Brett? Was it Brett? It might have been Brett. We took Brett for all of its money too, but it might be retesting now.
Casting a little
look at the Brett trade.
question. When you said piñata or piñata, do you mean a coin, or you just said piñata? I don't know. Just asking.
Piñata. I don't know. I haven't looked at Walrus finding support. Sui then. Sui? No, not ready yet. No, just Ondo right now. Watch the SPY, man. The SPY here could fall off a friggin' cliff, man. Like, easy right now. If we lose this low here, we're gonzo, man. It's really trying to hold structure here, so. No trades right now. Oh, shit, I just deleted one of my. Where's Bitcoin at? Resistance down. Yeah, I don't like where Bitcoin is. I think Bitcoin needs to come to 74,800, guys. Right in here. If it fails to make higher highs, higher lows, it's all depends on how it takes this low right here. So if we roll over and we take the low, we bounce up, we make a higher low, cool, long, right? If we push up from here and we break the highs, retest long, okay? However, right now, it's the same thing. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Wait for the bottom, jump on the short, make money. That's how I would treat it.
Nice, nice. All right, so
I thought I heard Balloon Donkey, yeah.
you did. Really quickly, I just had it here in hand. This is what most likely you heard. This is what we're going to be looking at, right? A balloon dog. Alex refers to it as a balloon dog. I call it balloon giraffe, depending on the next height, right? A very nasty chihuahua. You know, many ways. But I think this is the pattern that Alex was referring. Was it this one? But Anondo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, look at that. I had almost the same targets. All right, something that is also looking extremely looking like or look alike is INJ. So we have the 2 hour, and I handpicked the 2 hour just because it looks more like it, all right? But if we go to the 4 hour, we still can see it right there, right? We're still bearish, but we are breaking or retesting the previous highs, right? So retesting the previous highs and holding that zone, that would be bullish. So let's bring out the rest of my indicators. Let's see if we have anything in there. It's going to be very intense. I just turn everything on at the same time just to save you guys some time because it takes TradingView. It's been acting up lately a little bit slow for my taste. All right. So as you can see, let's zoom out. We have a rising wedge, bottom of the rising wedge. Great. We also have a trend line in here, automated trend line. Great. What else we have? We have these three lines right there, right? Those three yellow lines are the median range, what we call the mother's milk because it's MM. Just so you know, when we asked the developers what was the meaning of M, we knew it's something about median because this is a swing range. This is a swing range, right? So, and when we jokingly we joke around and we told what is it, Mother's Milk, and he said, yeah, that's the official name, and that's how it came to be, Mother's Milk. All right, so Mother's Milk range at the center, looking maybe for the bottom it, maybe somewhere around 475 as a last part of support. And if we don't hold that area, well, the next area is going to be where we have the order block, quantum reactor, dynamic reactor, and the other big, huge dynamic reactor somewhere around 4.28. But that will be another story, all right? That will be basically breaking below the range, and most likely that will be a low continuation, a short continuation. But so far, we're pretty bullish at this area, especially there we go, because we have a goose head. A goose head usually indicates little retracement, further move to the upside, and that's what I look for, the next resistance, and then bigger retracement. So that's what I'll be looking for. Let's add a possible entry alert, which we are very, very, very close right there, and a breakout structure target, just in case I need to long at the last minute. I'll be doing that on the 15 minutes at the top. All right, so that is all that we have time for today. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Alex, thank you so much for another incredible masterclass. Really appreciate you, my friend. Anything else that you want to share before we go?
Trade safe, be safe. Choppy market, man. So don't get caught in it. If you're unsure, just be patient. There'll be lots of trades. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.